Let's begin the recap of this game. Steve mentioned how many things happened in the New Jersey crease. It's the Intuit TurboTax Live Expert. We're going to start things off back in the first period when the Rangers scored 3 times.
Yeah, I think this is really going to aggravate John Hines and his coaching staff, Al, because when you look at the numbers, you're going to look at the numbers down low here, and you've got 4 Devils players, and you've got 2 Rangers there. You've got Buchnevich and Vesey, and you get outmanned and outbattled. And Schneider, you put him in the mix, he's guy number 5. So it's 5-2, and Vesey scores the goal. You got to give Vesey the credit there for having his nose in it. You see the same thing on this goal, though. Kreider's goal is the same thing. You're going to have Kreider getting to the net. Great job there. Zibanejad kind of comes off as a safety, so it becomes Vesey and Kreider in front. But again, you've got 4 Devils below the hash mark, 2 Rangers, and they get outbattled again. It's a great credit to Kreider and Vesey. But again, I wonder what's going on with New Jersey. They're just not battling that hard in front of their own net, knowing they've got Corey Schneider, who's on the mend, coming back. He's doing what he can out there, but he's not getting a lot of help.
They had no answer for the Rangers' top line.
No.
Now we get to the Rangers' second goal on the power play, and Northwell Health gives us a different look. And it remains to be seen what this day does for Ryan Strome.
Yeah, and you know that I've been beating his drum for quite some time. That trade looks amazing right now for Spooner, who's been traded since to Vancouver. He's been in the American League. When you look at the setup, though, right, you've got new personnel out there, and D'Angelo's moving it back and forth with Buchnevich. They're recovering pucks. They're doing all that right stuff. Hedl plays catch here with Buchnevich, and that opens up some space now for Kreider, who oftentimes as a lefty brings this play here quickly to his forehand and scores, and he chooses to pass. It's a set play. We've seen them run it before, and that's really the unique thing that you're going to start to see when the personnel changes. You can go back and look at some different setups that you've used in the past. This has been a long season already. They've had plenty of reps on the power play. You change the handedness and the personnel a little bit, and you get to see those looks again. They used that one in October. It's a play that they use a lot, and Kreider brings that to his forehand and scores. But now they're using it on a pass, which they've also used in the past. It's neat.
To Alexander Georgiev, who got the start today, he gave up 2 goals, but to me they were off defensive mistakes.
Yep.
Other than that, he deserved to pitch a shutout today.
Again, what more can you say? It's his 10th win of the year, right? When you get 10 wins out of your backup, you're generally a playoff team because you need those 20 points. You need 20-plus points from your backup. And this says a lot about Georgiev going forward. To me, it's another step forward. He's proving it night after night that he can play in the league. All of his asset base with how he tracks the puck and moves shows me every night that I've seen him play this year, including this afternoon, that he's a long-term answer for the Rangers. Whether it's as a starter or a backup, that takes time. It takes time because you have to see it play out, Al. We all thought that Cam Talbot was going to be a starter. We also all thought that Antti Raanta was going to be a starter. They are starting goalies, but the one thing that both of those guys didn't do well was for Talbot, he wasn't able to play consistent over time and keep his job. And for Raanta, he wasn't able to stay healthy over time to keep his job. That's how hard it is to be a starting goalie. You've got to be healthy. You've got to be consistent. Those 2 things really separate a backup from a starter. That's why we won't know on Georgiev for some time whether or not he's going to be a starter, but he sure looks like one right now. He's building his case.
That last save he made was on a tough deflection, and it came when it was 3-1. That would have made it a 1-goal game, so that's significant. Yeah. What happened after that was Brady Shea, who was overheard by John Giannone to think he's never going to score again, scored, and Chris Kreider showed you the kind of grit he brought in this game.
Right, so I would also lump this goal, the 4th one, in with the 1st and 3rd goal of the afternoon because they're all really gritty net front plays, and we've seen this from Kreider all year. This is what he does. Now, look at Schneider for a second. He's standing straight up, right? He goes to his knees here. He should be standing up, and then he goes back down a second time. Now, the only reason why he does that is because Kreider's in front, and he can't track the pass across. So if you're talking about what Kreider does on this play, to me, he is always as valuable as the guy giving the first assist. He's a primary assist there because Schneider would have managed that entire scenario so much easier if Kreider wasn't there wreaking havoc. He's there again, and that's why you can't trade Chris Kreider. These guys, you can't just shake a tree and get a Chris Kreider. I know the Leafs are knocking hard for him, and there's many teams in the mix, but, Kreider, He's got to stay here.
Yeah, not too many guys can change a game like he did today.
Absolutely. And for every part of the game. What about the speed that he played with today?
Yeah.
You know, it was noticeable. He was noticeable on every shift.